Let's talk about how ad agencies basically are causing coaches' businesses to get really unqualified leads and lose money. Now, before we get started, I'm not here to trash every ad agency. I'm sure there's some good ones out there that might be working. In 20 years of doing this business and running ads online to get clients, I've never seen one. But I'm sure they're out there. So this isn't to say everything bad about every agency. This is all the ones that I've seen from coaching over 1,200 coaching clients over the years that I've come across. And I've had the opportunity to go and see multiple like hundreds of ad accounts from clients who have hired ad agencies to run their ads for them. And I've yet to see one that's actually been good. Because here's the problem. Hiring an ad agency if you're a coach, makes a lot of sense on paper. It's like, I'm a coach. Let's say I'm a mindset coach. I'm a mindset coach. I just want to coach clients. I just fill my calendar and I'll just help all these people and get paid real well. And you, ad agency, can just go get these people for me. You do what you're good at. I do what I'm good at. We both make money and succeed. And the clients live happily ever after. Here's the problem. In the real world, that doesn't work. And I'm going to explain to you why it doesn't work and why it's so hard to make this happen, and also why it's not even necessary, okay? I'm going to give you three reasons why you should not hire an ad agency to run your ads, and I'm going to give you a fourth one that's a bonus, and it is the single most important one, all right? So let's dig into it. The first problem that I've seen over the years with coaches hiring ad agencies is they let Facebook optimize their ad account for them. Okay, so I see this all the time. Almost every week I look at a coach's ad account and they're like, yeah, I hired this ad agency and they basically just told me Facebook needs more time to optimize. They need to run the ads more. They need to the audience needs to figure itself out. And if I spend more money, it's just going to figure itself out. Well, here's the reality is it's not going to figure itself out, okay? Because what happens is you're creating these feedback loops, and it's all based on artificial intelligence. It's not complicated. Look, I got a bachelor's degree in theology. I was a pastor for a number of years before coming into this business. Obviously, it's still a very important part of my life, but my point is I'm not super smart with AI and all that stuff, and I can figure this stuff out, so can you. Here's the problem. What happens is let's say you're getting people to register for your ebook or whatever it is you're getting them to register for. Facebook's going to run that ad. People are going to click and register. And then once they register, Facebook's going to send that data back into Facebook and go, oh, Jason registered for this ebook. Let's go find more people like Jason. And so it will optimize based on who's registering and create this feedback loop, or who's booking calls, or whatever it is they've set up for you. And the problem is it's building this like feedback loop, okay? Because here's the thing. No matter what the size of your audience is, Facebook's only going to run your ad to maybe 0.5%. You don't have the budget, and it just doesn't make sense. Like if you're targeting 1 million people, at $10 a day, $20 a day, you cannot reach them all, right? So what Facebook does is they find the little sliver of your audience who are most likely to convert. The problem is when you just let Facebook optimize it, Facebook by default does not know you're selling high ticket stuff. So they who knows, maybe you're reselling iPhone cases or something like that. They don't know. And that's not their problem. And so the longer they let it run, the more these feedback loops strengthen, okay? And the harder it is to get out of those and get qualified people. So if you're only getting broke people after what, $200, $300, $400 and nothing else and all that kind of stuff, you do not let it run at all. Like that's the worst thing you can possibly do. There's something wrong that needs to be fixed. But you got to remember, a lot of agencies have one agency manager for 50 ad accounts. And so that's what's happening there. Again, I'm not here to trash all agencies. This is my experience seeing agencies run coaches' ad accounts from what I've seen. So if you have an agency and you're happy, great. Just let them keep doing what you're doing. Don't bother with this video. But if you're using an agency or thinking of using an agency, these are the things that I've seen. Number two, the second thing is a lot of them will use basic funnels that don't work, okay? Here's what you need to understand. We're in what's been called a trust recession. I would coin it a little different because here's the thing, meaning trust is at the all-time low. A recession implies that it's a dip and it's probably going to come back. It ain't coming back, okay? Trust is at an all-time low because people are just seeing so much garbage out there that they don't trust anybody. It has nothing to do with you. It's just people just don't trust anybody. And what a lot of these agencies are doing is they're running funnels that are incredibly basic that do not build trust. So they're taking people to ebooks and video sales letters and videos, or running them to book a call pages. And they're using these basic funnels, live webinars, and coaches are getting like a 20% show up rate. And they're running these incredibly simple funnels because they're easy. Listen, if you own an ad agency and you're doing it for coaches and each coach is paying you like $2,000 a month, well, you need a lot of clients to make good money, right? Because you as the ad agency have costs, right? You've got marketing costs. You've got all this kind of stuff. And so you're probably not going to be the one who want to be in every ad account. So therefore, you're going to get people to do it for you. So like, you've got to have people managing it and all this kind of stuff. And you want to automate these accounts as much as possible, right? So from an agency owner perspective, you just want to keep it simple. They use lead forms and all this kind of crazy stuff. And it's just, again, bringing in garbage people, okay? Because there's no commitment, and those people who are registering are not taking action. They're not qualified. And so they're getting on these calls and they're like, who are you? Why'd you call me? Yeah, I think I don't know. I can't remember anything. And you as a coach are like, what's going on? I don't know what to do. Or they stay for the whole call and they're like, yeah, I just found out about you like 6 hours ago. I'm not giving you $5,000. You know what I'm saying? This is all happening all the time. And so they're running these super basic funnels that are just getting more unqualified people. And then it's giving Facebook the feedback loop, right, of go find more people who look like these unqualified people. Starting to see how this is working. Now, I got to pause. We're going to talk about the third, which is really important. And then the fourth option is, or the fourth bonus thing is vitally important. So before we get to that, click below in this video and you're going to see an option to book a free Skool success call with us. It's a 15-minute call. It's right in the description or in the pinned comment section. Because you're a member of our Skool community, we're going to give you a free 15-minute call. And we're going to help you sort out what your ads are doing. Are you doing it right? What are your ideas? Even if you haven't run ads yet, as long as you're a coach, you've got, something that you want to sell or what have you. And we're going to chat, talk about your stuff, figure it out. And it's free. Okay. Don't bring your credit card just at all. We don't need, there's nothing to buy, period. Okay. And we're just going to look at all your stuff. And then sure, if you want to talk about how we could help you beyond that, we could potentially set up another call, but it's way beyond the scope of what we're talking about here. So you simply click that link and you book a call. And on that call, we're going to figure out, help you understand why you're not reaching the people you want to reach, what you need to do better, strategies that we have. We're going to unlock some advanced training for you that we have that is previously available for clients. And we're going to walk through this because so many coaches are just trying to figure it out by themselves, just watching videos. And it's really hard to do. It's kind of like doing a root canal on your own. Just go to Amazon, buy some dental drills, go on YouTube, watch some videos on doing a root canal. You're going to save $1,000, but it's going to cost you in a lot more other ways, right? And so we want to just help you, give you some value, show you what's happening. I've spent almost $3 million in the last 3 years, roughly, on Facebook ads. We've seen more ad accounts probably than almost everybody else in the space for coaches. So we're going to give you some really solid advice and thoughts on what to do, strategies, all that kind of stuff. Click the link below, book your 15-minute call, and leave your credit card in your car, okay? Now, number 3, the third thing they do, that agencies routinely do that you need to watch for if you are using one or have used one or thinking about using one, is they optimize for cheap leads, okay? All they're thinking about is, hey, we're getting you cheap call bookings, we're getting you cheap registrations, cheap cost per click, cheap, okay? And so then they're like, hey, it's not our problem you can't enroll these people. All these metrics are amazing, super cheap, everything's awesome. You're like, this is just garbage. Like, this is totally, these people don't even they're not even looking for what I'm selling, right? And maybe you've had that experience. Here's what you need to realize. Cheap does not equal qualified, okay? Your goal is qualified coaching clients, not cheap leads on Facebook. Rarely do the two connect. Very rarely. In fact, when a coach comes on board with us and we're helping them, if they're already running ads and their ads are cheap, we're like right into that. We're like, uh-oh, something's wrong. They should not be this cheap. You should be spending more money to get qualified people. Because remember, your ultimate goal, is our return on ad spend, right? And so it's not about cheap calls. It's about, can I spend $1, get 3, 5, potentially 10 back in terms of revenue at scale, okay? Those are the only two things that matter. Did I spend $1,000 and I made 5,000, 3,000, 10,000? I don't know. Everybody's different, right? But how much did I spend? What did I get back? Okay. It's not, can I grind Facebook for a cheaper cost per click? Can I get a cheaper webinar registration? Can I get a cheaper email address? Can I get a cheaper call booking? That's not the way you get coaching clients on Facebook. Sometimes you might have to pay more to get better quality, but your return is higher. Does that make sense? So if you've been conditioned and trained and taught, you're paying too much for a lead, you're too much, you got to be careful, because in every niche, it's like if you start getting those cheap leads, it's like Facebook is finding you the garbage traffic, and they're like, perfect, somebody's going to run ads to the garbage quality who doesn't buy anything. And that's a lot of cases what happens, all right? Now, the fourth bonus reason you got to be careful of is this. You don't need to hire somebody to run your ads, because it's the easiest part of the coaching business, if you want my opinion, okay? What do I mean by that? A good campaign, once it's running, should run for, in some cases, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 weeks without touching it, okay? So once it's working, depending on the niche, you should not have to be touching it all the time. And some of these agencies make it look like they're the hardest working people on the internet. And the bottom line is, if your stuff is working, you shouldn't have to do anything with it, because that's the whole point. Facebook needs to optimize, right? They go into your big audience of 1 million or whatever, and they're trying to find that segment of buyers. And if it's structured right, they are. Then it needs time to work in there, find those people, find more of those people, send you more of those people. So there's like not a lot to do other than monitor it, okay? And so what if it's working? What do you need an agency to do? You can do it. I've got coaches in their late 70s and 80s who have managed their own ad accounts. It ain't that complicated, because if you do it right, there's not a ton to do, okay? So you need to set it and forget it, assuming it's working. But you got to get it there. So what's the next steps here? The next steps is book that free call with us. We're going to look at everything we're doing. We're going to look at, hey, if you have an agency already, we'll give you some feedback on what on what's going on, some ideas. If you're thinking about it, I just wouldn't do it. You can learn. You need to learn this stuff the right way, and then you can hire a virtual assistant to do it for you and manage the day-to-day stuff for you and pay them way less. You shouldn't be paying an agency $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month to manage something that you need to oversee, and get a virtual assistant potentially to do all the changes for you, which maybe once every week or 2 weeks or whatever. I don't know. It all depends, right? So that's what you need to understand. So book that call right away. It's a free call, and we're going to look at everything, give you some feedback on what you're doing. We're also going to show you what's working now. There's some strategies that are working now that most coaches don't even know about and don't even know exist, and we want to teach those to you on that call, okay? And again, it's free. Don't bring your credit card. We're just going to share some really cool stuff because you're a member of our Skool community, all right? Also, hit the subscribe button on this video, because we always create videos every week, and you won't miss it if you hit the subscribe button, okay? Click the link now, book your call. Hopefully this has helped you make a better decision. And again, if you're running a $20 million a year e-commerce site, you probably need help like an agency. But if you're a coach who's just trying to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, I personally think it's an overkill, And honestly, I've never seen one that's been working, and I just don't see it. It's easier to learn it yourself, because you got to remember, if you learn it yourself, or if you don't, for example, and you get an agency and they're sort of doing good, but what happens if it changes? And then you got to go find another one, and then another one. And you're putting your hope of your most important part of your business in somebody else's hands. It belongs in your hands, not somebody else's. And then you can get an assistant to manage all your stuff, just like I've said already. All right, click that link, book that call, and get to work.